All right, let's talk about a piece of technology that is, no joke, completely rewiring the AI world from the inside out. It's called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short, and it's really the key to unlocking what AI agents can truly do. So, yeah, let's get right into it. The biggest challenge has always been this. We have these amazingly powerful AI models, and then we have all our stuff, our emails, our code, our databases. But how do you make them talk to each other? Not just talk, but talk securely and in a way that actually works. That's the billion-dollar question we're going to answer today. So here's how we'll break it down. First, we'll dig into the big integration problem that was holding AI back. Then, we'll show how MCP swoops in as the solution and take a peek at how it works. After that, we'll look at the incredible ecosystem that's just blown up around it. And finally, we'll look to the future and how MCP is building the foundation for teams of AI agents. Okay, so to really get why MCP is such a game changer, you've got to understand the absolute mess it was designed to fix. Think about it. Even the smartest large language models were essentially stuck. The AI company Anthropic described them as being trapped behind information silos, and that's the perfect way to put it. They were brilliant, but they couldn't see real-time data or use any outside tools. Every single connection was a painful, custom-built, one-off job. And this just perfectly illustrates the nightmare. In the developer world, they call this the M by N problem. If you have M AI apps and N tools, you literally have to build M times N connections. It's a spider web of brittle, expensive, custom code. Just a total headache. But MCP, it flips the script completely. It turns that nightmare into a simple M plus N problem. Now each app just needs to speak MCP, and each tool just needs to speak MCP. That's it. So much simpler. And this brings us right to MCP itself, the universal adapter that makes this whole new, clean, simple world a reality. Honestly, this is the best analogy I've ever heard for it, and it comes directly from Anthropic, the folks who created the protocol. It is just like the USB-C port for AI. Remember the mess of different chargers we used to have? USB-C fixed that with one standard. Well, MCP is doing the exact same thing for connecting AI to, well, everything else. So officially, MCP is an open source standard. And that's huge, because it means anyone can build on it. Anyone can use it. It's a universal interface that lets any AI app talk to any tool or data source, as long as they both speak the language. It's the missing piece of the puzzle. So how does it pull this off? Well, it all comes down to three fundamental building blocks, or what they call primitives. First up, you've got tools. These are basically verbs. They let an AI do something, like send an email, run code, or hit an API. Second, you have resources. These are the nouns, the static things the AI can look at, like a specific file, a row in a database, or a saved email template. And finally, you have prompts, which are just reusable templates to get common jobs done quickly and consistently. Okay, now that we've got the what, let's do a quick high-level look at the how. How do all these pieces actually fit together? At its heart, it's a classic client-server setup. You've got the MCP client, which lives inside your AI app, say the Claude desktop app. It's the one making the requests. And then you have the MCP server, which is a separate little program that exposes all the tools and resources. It just sits there, listening for requests and sending back answers. It's kind of like a coffee shop, right? You're the client making an order, and the server is the barista who makes it happen. Now, how they actually talk depends on where they are. If the client and server are on the same machine, they just use what's called standard I/O. It's super simple, super fast. But if they're talking across the internet, they switch to something called server-sent events over HTTP. That one's a bit more heavy-duty, built to handle lots of different things happening at once. And check this out. This is the really cool part, the initial handshake. When you fire up an app like Claude, it first connects to all the MCP servers you've set up. Then it goes into discovery mode. It basically asks each server, hey, what can you do? The server responds with its list of tools and resources, and the client registers all of them. From that moment on, the AI just knows what's available. It can intelligently pick the right tool for whatever you ask it to do. It feels like magic. Now, like I said, this isn't some academic project. The adoption of MCP has been absolutely explosive. A whole ecosystem has sprung up around it seemingly overnight. If you just peek at the data from the official GitHub repos, you can see how fired up the developer community is. I mean, look at that. It's a really healthy split between the big languages for this space. TypeScript, JavaScript, and Python are all neck and neck. It shows this is a really broad-based movement. And this is the real wow moment. The list of companies and tools that have either official or community-built MCP servers is just nuts. We're talking about all the heavy hitters: AWS, Azure, Google, Salesforce, Jira, Docker, Figma, Slack, Stripe, Zapier. The list just goes on and on and on. There are hundreds of these already. It just proves how desperate the world was for a standard like this. And what really solidifies this, what tells you MCP is here to stay, is that it's not some niche thing. When the giants, OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, all get behind the same standard, you know it's a done deal. That kind of widespread support guarantees that this ecosystem is only going to get bigger and better. But here's the thing. As amazing as all this is, it's really just the opening act. Because as powerful as MCP is for connecting one AI to many tools, the real future is connecting many AIs to each other. This is where we're headed. MCP isn't just a cable. It's a communication network. It's the language that will allow teams of specialized AI agents to work together. So instead of one AI trying to do everything, you can have a team of experts, each one tackling a piece of a really complex problem. And this isn't science fiction, it's already happening in research labs. This diagram from a paper called Goalify Max shows exactly that. You have different agents with different jobs. One's a scheduler that plans the work, another's an executor that does the work. And how do they coordinate? They pass messages back and forth using MCP as their common language. This whole idea is called agent-to-agent communication, or A2A. It's a framework built right on top of MCP that standardizes how all these independent AIs can talk, delegate work, and collaborate. It allows them to solve problems that would be way too big for any single AI to handle on its own. I want to leave you with this quote from Jim Zemlin, the head of the Linux Foundation. It just hits the nail on the head. He said, MCP is emerging as a foundational communications layer for AI systems, akin to what HTTP did for the web. I mean, think about that. HTTP gave us the modern internet by creating a standard for how computers talk. MCP is positioned to do the exact same thing for artificial intelligence. So it really leaves you with a huge question, doesn't it? Are we watching right now the birth of a truly universal language for all AI? A protocol that won't just connect our tools, but will eventually connect all intelligent systems to each other? Something to think about. Thanks so much for watching.